Best Western Ramcota Hotel in Aberdeen is the place to stay for business or the weekend family getaway. You'll feel right at home with ample parking, spacious guest rooms, and complimentary breakfast. And with a convenient location, you'll have easy access to local attractions and events in the area. While staying at the Best Western Ramcota, guests can enjoy an indoor water play land, an on-site Minerva's restaurant, exercise facility, wedding services, and a business center. For friendly service and a great stay, make your reservation today.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporter of Tanager Athletics and the student athlete. Welcome to Madison High School and the DAC-12 NEC Clash here on Live Ticket TV. Vermillion Tanagers live along with our partners in Madison streaming as well. Along with our producer and color man Cole Larsh, I'm Heath Nimke. We get you set for the matchup of the two seeds in the DAC-12 NEC Clash. As so far, it has been a clash that, well, historically, it continues to live up to history, dominated by the DAC-12 so far in this tournament, 6-1. Last week, it was the boys' side. The boys went 10-1 on the DAC-12 side. The only loss was against Madison. You may remember Vermillion got a big win the other day against the Parkson Trojans in a rematch from earlier this season. But for now, we're focused on the girls' side, and it comes off the heels for the Vermillion Tanagers of a huge upset victory over Sioux Falls Christian. It was all about that game of how could Vermillion knock off the Chargers and get to that, well, tied for first spot in the DAC-12 standings. Now, it's exactly what the Vermillion Tanagers did in a rock fight that we heard from head coach John Brooks talk about it on Thursday evening, and his girls just getting it done. And now they quickly have to respond. They got to enjoy this game until 3:45 yesterday when they had to turn their attention to an Aberdeen Roncalli team that comes in as that 2 seed. And of course, the question is, what Vermillion faces all season long is how good are the teams from the NEC Conference. You may remember a year ago, the number 1 team in the land, the Hamlin Chargers, beat Vermillion in this DAC-12 NEC Clash. And this Aberdeen Roncalli team, again, coming in receiving votes according to the media, is no slouch of a team, as they have gotten some big wins. In fact, one of their only 2 losses does come against the Hamlin Chargers, who did lose to Lennox earlier this afternoon, and also the other NEC opponent, the number 1 seed in this DAC-12 NEC Clash. Aberdeen Roncalli lost to Sisseton 62-55 in a close game. Otherwise, since that loss to Hamlin back on January the 23rd, Aberdeen Roncalli has gotten 3 straight wins against Britain Hecla, Tispazina, and also Milbank. In fact, I did get my chance to catch up with head coach Derek Larson of the Aberdeen Roncalli Cavaliers, and we talked about that game against Milbank. You may remember Vermillion played Milbank on Saturday, Aberdeen Roncalli playing Milbank on Thursday. I asked, is there any kind of, you look back at that game and say, hey, this is what we can compare, that what we want to do or what we did against Milbank to what Vermillion did? He said there isn't a whole lot of comparison. You just look at that game, Vermillion really shut down the Milbank Bulldogs from doing anything offensively. Of course, that's what we want to do. That's what we did against Milbank, but it's not the same scenario when you watch film on those 2 games and try to compare apples to apples, if you will, on 2 teams that have already gotten victories against the Milbank Bulldogs. Otherwise, that game happened on Thursday as well for the Aberdeen Raleigh Cavaliers as they again beat Milbank 57-41. By the way, before we get to our coaches' conversation with head coach John Brooks, let's break down this DAC-12 NEC Clash. So far in action, beginning the day here in the main gym, the 6-seed Dakota Valley beat Milbank 53-31. The 5-seed Elk Point Jefferson beat Groton Area 44-23. And the 4-seed matchup, it was Lennox that beat Hamlin 45-37. And the most points so far that we have seen in this clash, the 3-seed T Area Titans beat Parkston 79-60. In the auxiliary gym, the 11-seed Madison beat Tispazina 61-49. And the matchup of the 10 seeds, the only NEC win, Clark Willow Lake beat Del Rapids 46-32. And also West Central beat Webster Area 66-23. In other action, there is one other game, of course, going on right now over there in the auxiliary gym. That is Tri-Valley that is taking on Redfield. As we take a quick look, that one's at halftime right now. Tri-Valley leads over Redfield in a rock fight there, 17-12, again at halftime, as we're getting you set for this matchup of the 2 seeds. Well, let's talk about the Vermillion girls. An upset victory on Thursday, and how do they get ready to take on Aberdeen Roncalli. Well, on yesterday, actually, I caught up with head coach John Brooks to talk about this matchup against Aberdeen Roncalli and the victory over Sioux Falls Christian. This is what he had to say in our pregame interview with head coach John Brooks. Coach Brooks, a big win against Sioux Falls Christian on Thursday night. What's, before getting this matchup against Aberdeen Roncalli, what's recap or maybe just bring us through the next 24 to 48 hours, this quick turnaround getting ready for Aberdeen Roncalli. What has practice looked like on Friday? And we talked about for you, you had an hour bus ride to enjoy it before you had to get ready for Aberdeen Roncalli. So what's the past 48 hours been like getting ready for the Cavaliers?
Yeah, quick turnaround, obviously. And, we got some film in, and assistant coaches got some film in as well. So we talked earlier and on Friday and got our game plan put together, scouting report put together, and we tried to take it as easy as we could on Fridays. Thursday against Sioux Falls Christian was a physical, tough, grinded out game. Both teams were pressing, so it took a lot out of it. So got through our film on Friday with the girls and kind of a light practice just to get prepared, and then turn around and here we go, get to have a really good opportunity against a good Roncalli team.
One other quick question I have about that game and the results of it. Going into this season, you were considered one of the top 5, at least according to the media. I know some of the coaches paid a lot of respect to this Vermillion Tanagers team. Some great losses against some of the best teams in either the state of South Dakota or the state of Nebraska. But now this signature win, it seems like, against over Sioux Falls Christian. Now there's rumblings and rumors going around like, hey, this is a top 5 team again. Where's your assessment on this team that you see it as?
Yeah, we couldn't get too down on ourselves for a few losses. And, after last year, playing a very difficult schedule, then when you come back this year, I think we have as difficult of a schedule as anybody in Class A with our conference. And then we've played some extremely good teams in the non-conference. And so, there's going to be some bumps in the road. It's just the way it's going to be. So really happy with the way that the girls rebounded with a big win against Sioux Falls Christian. We were kind of in need of one of those top wins, and we got it, and we got it on the road. And that says a lot about the group that we have. And now, here we are in February with that big win, and hopefully we can use that as momentum moving forward.
One other quick question I have about the victory, and then just maybe generally in this week. Beersford's a region opponent, a top 5 team with Sioux Falls Christian, and Aberdeen Roncalli's receiving votes in the media polls. I think they're another top 10 team. I think they're number 6 when it comes to the overall seed points. So again, it kind of has that of a feel and effect of a state tournament. Maybe you get an extra day of rest, but this is what we're going to need to see coming up in a month's time. Do you think your girls are more prepared now than where they were a month ago?
Yeah, and I think the nice thing here is both teams are in the same situation as far as this Saturday game, because Roncalli played on Tuesday. They played on Thursday against Millbank, just like we played on Thursday, and now we're both playing on Saturday. So we're kind of on the same situation, and that's what we told the girls. There's no excuses. They're doing the same thing we are this week. So it's get ready. You got a day, and what we're trying to stress right now is the opportunities. You're getting opportunities to play the best teams across the state. And that's what we look for when we go to these classics, and we have another opportunity against a team we would never see if we weren't in this classic. So let's go stack up and see where we're at against these other teams that we normally wouldn't see, and that's what we get here tonight with Roncalli.
Next quick question that comes to my mind here is, you said it, Friday practice, it wasn't intense. I've seen Coach Brooks. If anyone thinks Coach Brooks is a nice, calm guy in practice, it's the complete opposite. He really gets after it. But you didn't really go really hard, really physical, maybe got a few shots up, walk through the things you need to go through. Why was it not physical? Why was it not bleed it to the nose, make sure we're absolutely ready? What's the decision there as a coach?
I think it's just it being the third game. We got some good practices. Even right before Beersford, we got after it pretty good on Monday. Even against Christian, we got after it pretty good. But now we're, the later part of the week, and a lot of it is the Thursday game. If it's a game where you're sitting your starter some maybe or something like that because you're way ahead, you can maybe get after a little bit more in practice. But with the way the game was on Thursday, we needed a day to recover. And sometimes we tell the girls mental reps are just as important as physical reps this time of the year. And so we really try to rep the mental part of it. Roncalli runs a ton of sets on offense, so we have to be prepared. We have to understand what they're trying to do offensively. So Friday was a big mental day for us.
This Roncalli team as well is a lot like yours, I would say. Maybe not as many seniors, only one senior part of this Aberdeen team, but very young. They did not have a really good season last year, just kind of middle of the pack, if you will. But that youth has now led into experience, and they've, of course, shown how good they are. What have you seen on film that makes this such a dangerous Roncalli team offensively?
Well, we're going to see a lot of the same things that we saw on Thursday against Sioux Falls Christian. They're a very balanced team. They all can shoot it. They all can put it on the floor, and very physical man-to-man defense. So that's kind of their backbone that they hold their team on. And on top of that, they got the Hanson girl. That's 5'10", extremely physical, shoots the three, gets to the hoop. I think she's an all-state player this year. She is very, very talented. So, after they got guards that can shoot it, and then you got a go-to kid like Hanson. You can see why they're very, very difficult to guard. They run a lot of sets, a lot of screening action. So you just got to be very prepared against them. So hopefully we can limit Hanson as much as possible, and we got to rebound better than we did on Thursday night. They're physical. They get to the board, so we got to make sure we're boxing out.
Who gets the Hanson assignment? Is it going to be Janaea Cleveland or Brooke Jensen?
We'll start Janaea on her. I think Janaea I still think I haven't seen a better defender in the state. So anytime we have something like that, Janaea might be giving up a couple inches, but she's extremely physical. And then, if they go into the post, we'll have our rotations to help her and that type of thing inside. So we're going to have to throw multiple bodies at her. Different kids will get to her, but Janaea will start on her.
Coach, before I let you go, this DAC-12 NEC clash, historically, it's always won by the DAC-12, but one thing that does prevail is the top matchups are always the toughest, whether it's on the boys' side or the girls' side. You are set to be probably the second best game. Sioux Falls Christian Sisseton, of course, is going to be very exciting, that matchup of the number 1 seeds, but this number 2 seed matchup is certainly not going to be an easy game for either team. How excited are you to play once again the DAC-12 NEC clash and be back here once again facing a great team like the Cavaliers?
Yeah, I think just the whole day, the environment's really good there. All the teams are there. And then, like I said, we position ourselves to be the 2 seed and get to play one of the premier games at the end of the day. And that's what you're hoping for. And so we get that opportunity, and we just got to step on the floor. We got to be completely focused and ready to play. Take advantage of what's in front of us, and hopefully get out of here with a win.
Once again, that is head coach John Brooks here on the pregame show talking about this tough matchup against Aberdeen Roncalli. Also, a huge shout to Adam Shoresman of the T-Area Lady Titans, who just stopped on by up here in the broadcast booth to say hello. Always great catch up with him. Cole and I are certainly hoping that we do not have to talk to him anymore this year as much as possible. Also want to welcome in our Madison streaming services as we have this matchup between Vermillion and Aberdeen Roncalli. Aberdeen coming in 12-2 overall. The Vermillion Tanagers 11-3. Aberdeen Roncalli receiving votes according to the media, whereas Vermillion is not. But maybe our biggest thing that we are watching, Vermillion is number 5 overall in the seed points compared to Aberdeen Roncalli is number 7. So again, you talk about a top 10 matchup seed points wise, and that's really what we like to look at in this latter portion of the season. All right, let's meet our starting 5 for both the Vermillion Tanagers and the Aberdeen Roncalli Cavaliers. We'll begin with the visitor, the Tanagers. It's the same starting 5 that we have seen all season long, which includes number 11, Taylor Rivers, number 21, Brooklyn Voss, number 22, Janaea Cleveland, number 25, Chandler Cleveland, and number 33, Brooke Jensen. Again, the Tanagers 11-3 overall, 3-1 within the region, 6-1 in the DAC-12. They are now tied for first in the DAC-12 after upsetting Sioux Falls Christian on Thursday evening. For the Aberdeen Roncalli Cavaliers, we had a question mark around one player, but she is ready to go. Their starting 5 does include number 2, McKenna O'Keefe, the 5'6 junior guard, number 3, Cameron Bain, the 5'6 senior guard, number 4, Maddie Huber, the 5'6 junior guard, number 11, Claire Crawford is back from illness, the 5'5 sophomore guard, and finally, number 22, Ava Hansen, the 5'10 junior forward. Again, the Cavaliers are 12-2, 5-1 within the region, and 8-2 in the NEC. Their 2 losses on the season, both NEC opponents of Hamlin and number 1 in the land in Class A, the Sisseton Redmen, coached by Derek Larson, along with assistant coaches Rich Dix and Amanda Bain. Cole Larsh, you excited for this matchup of the number 2 seeds in the DAC-12 NEC clash?
I'm ready to roll. I mean, I just hope they can score as much as they did in the last game, or else this game might seem really slow. That's one of those deals where you get two teams that like to score fast. This game should be a pretty good game, I'm hoping, anyway, inside Madison High School.
Here we go. The opening tip, it seems like all season long, has been won by Brooklyn Voss. The Tanagers will begin with the basketball. Again, Tanagers coming off a 43-39 victory, knocking off number 4 in the media polls. And now a quick turnover by Hanson. Score by Janaea Cleveland. Janaea has 2 points already here in the basketball game. And I talked on the pregame show, Cole Larsh, with head coach John Brooks. I just straight out asked him, who gets Hanson? He says, we'll start with Cleveland. We'll see how she does. Well, first 30 seconds, 15 seconds, if you will, the ball game. Forces a turnover and is able to score.
That's exactly what you want, especially against their biggest and probably their best player, is you want them to get in foul trouble early.
Aberdeen Roncalli, again, a very young team, very young last year, right in the middle of the pack, around 500. And this team, just with more experience underneath their belt, have looked good. Now a pass stolen away by Janaea Cleveland. Janaea already has 2 steals, 4 points in the ball game. Janaea Cleveland, I don't think anyone had them at home on the bingo card. You expect her defensively, but maybe not as much offensively, has already been huge in this first minute of the basketball game. And now a 10-second call, 3rd turnover for the Aberdeen Roncalli Cavaliers. And Cole Larsh, Vermillion, was not receiving votes anymore. We know this is a dangerous team. They're certainly building a lot of steam as we head towards the latter portion of the season.
Yeah, it's exactly like what we expected from this Vermillion team. They like to pride themselves on their defense, and then the offense follows. Very good defensively so far in the first minute, proving they can shut down a top 8 team.
Roovers, the 8th grader, drives in, kicks back out to Janaea Cleveland, who has all the points so far for the Tanagers. Still driving in. Now, last second pass to Superwoman underneath. She scores, and Taylor Roovers gets her first points, and quickly, and the first minute 15. It's already a 6-0 lead for the Vermillion Tanagers. Aberdeen Roncalli, in fact, hasn't even gotten up a shot yet. That's how much they have been shut down offensively. A pass tipped by Chandler Cleveland, but will stay with the Tanagers. I know a lot of Tanagers are back home watching because Vermillion, you didn't travel the best. It seems a little light over there on the far sidelines. That's okay as long as you're tuned in here on Live Ticket TV. And also Vermillion Tanagers live and Madison streaming as well. 3-pointer is off the mark, rebounded by Chandler Cleveland. Passes it over to Taylor Roovers, and quickly in the front court come the Tanagers. Mighty Mouse goes all the way in, puts up her shot, misses, fights for it back, and a loose basketball finally pulled down there by O'Keefe.
I got to give you a lot of credit, Heath. You're really good with nicknames.
Sometimes they don't make the most sense. Sometimes
they're very true, very true.
Sometimes the guys have given me crap for their nicknames. Some have loved them over the years, but they have now become regular nicknames within the families. 6-0, 6:03 first quarter. Loose basketball and turned over. Janaea Cleveland got a bad pass from Voss and turns it right back over to Aberdeen. The drive in, trying to take the woman maker, and able to do so is Roovers. 8th grader is going to need an adjustment after this ball game, as she has been banging in inside so far here in this first 2 minutes. Already 2 fouls on the Aberdeen Roncalli Cavaliers. It's the first that goes against O'Keefe. 6-0, 5:47 first quarter. Vermillion, it's been all Vermillion, if you will. As Superwoman drives in, high off the glass. She missed, but got the own rebound tip back to her by Voss, and Roovers scores. So now Janaea Cleveland and Taylor Roovers have all 8 points. And Cole, I don't think we expected this type of domination here early in the first quarter by Vermillion.
No, I don't think we really expected it, but we knew it could happen just on how good Vermillion is defensively.
A quick 3 is off the mark. Let him play, as Heath Nimke likes to say. And now a reach-in foul, and that's why I like it. Don't try to call the quick whistle on a jump ball, as Janaea Cleveland was flaring the arms around, and eventually the reach-in foul against McKenna O'Keefe, picking up her 2nd personal, and we're going to see a substitution. Riley Bowler will check into the ball game, and O'Keefe will come out for the Aberdeen Roncalli Cavaliers. Again, a young Cavaliers team, only 1 senior a part of this team. 8-0, 5:12 first quarter. Roovers over to Brooke Jensen, the first time that we've called her name tonight, in the lane, back out to Voss, squares up and shoots the 3. Bingo! How about this? Vermillion has blown out the doors at Madison High School. 11-0, not 3 minutes into the ball game, and it's a quick lead for the Vermillion Tanagers. Great to have you along here on Vermillion Tanagers Live Ticket TV, and also Madison Streaming. Hey fans, we want to see you tomorrow. Cole Larsh and myself are going to be there. We do expect you to be there as well. The Vermillion Baseball Association is having their Chili and Wild Game Feed fundraiser. That's happening tomorrow at the Charcoal Lounge from 3 to 8. It's $20 per ticket, and tickets can be purchased at the door the day of the event. Again, expect to see you there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Cole is going to be ready. I'm going to be ready as well.
Yeah, let's roll. I'm ready. Fish and chislet. Can't get much better than that.
I haven't ate all day either, so don't talk too much about food. As, again, for some reason I decided to skip on the breakfast menu at home, which is pancakes, breakfast bars, smoothies. I mean, you name it, Cole. It's available at the Nimke household, and I decided to skip. And then breakfast, at that time, I grabbed a 300 milligram caffeine drink and was on the road, already pumped up with over 1,000 milligrams of caffeine for the day. Oh, I had a protein shake after a workout, but that's about it. That's not going to fill me up enough. Finally, after a long stoppage of play there from the officials, get everything sorted out and we're ready to go. 11-0. Roncalli breaks the presses into the front court. Voss had her hands all over the back of Huber. So Brooklyn Voss will pick up her first team foul. 4:57, first quarter. We saw a lot of fouls in that Parkston T area game, over 40 fouls. That's one of the reasons we ran behind schedule here. This one was supposed to tip off at 5, a little after 5, but depending on how this one goes, this one could get us back on a schedule. One other game, the number 1 matchup between seeds Sisseton and Sioux Falls Christian. And of course, that one's going to be really interesting, Cole. I don't think there's any big advantage for either team in that game coming up in the final matchup tonight.
I think the only main advantage we're going to see is the size of Sisseton, and that's about it.
Pull-up jumper for Brooke Jensen. She connects. Vermillion is not looking back. 13 points, 4 different scores, and they lead at 13-0, 4.5 in this first quarter. Cleveland gets her foot down just like she does playing midfield for soccer. That one gets deflected out of bounds. As talked about before as well, Cole. The starting 5, besides Rivers, she's eventually going to go on to play basketball when she gets older. But the other 4 girls on the court are going to play some type of athletic sports at the collegiate level that we are expecting. Janaea Cleveland expected to go play soccer, and we could see Chandler Cleveland to go play softball. Third steal in the ball game for Janaea Cleveland. She's got 4 points as well to complement it halfway through the first quarter. Voss pump fakes to the elbow, jumper, good. Vermillion just cannot miss. 5 points for Brooklyn Voss, 15-0. Again, both teams have had the same amount of rest coming into this game. They both played on Thursday. And now a quick turnover. It's a 3-on-1 to Janaea Cleveland. Oh, she gets hit. And a foul called against the Cavaliers. Their 4th team foul. And it will be the 2nd against Huber. So O'Keefe and Huber both have 2 personal fouls out of the 4. And we'll see their substitution as Helms will check in at the next dead ball. Free throw is good. If you had 16-0 on your bingo card, you have a very unique bingo card out there. Because this has been all Vermillion, dominating Aberdeen Roncalli.
If you had 16-0 on your bingo card, you're a time traveler.
Second free throw. Yeah, he certainly would be. As we're going to wave it off, we're going to call a lane violation. Chandler Cleveland was falling into the lane.
They're actually going to call it on Janaea, so she stepped over the free throw line too early.
They haven't taken the score off yet, but it should be 16-0. And now a pass that is going to go past the scorer's table. Another quick turnover. Here at the, there we go. I say finally get it changed over. 16-0, 3:28 first quarter. Get it inbound to Rivers. Well, Vermillion had a very tough stretch coming into this week as well. With a Region 4A opponent, number 4 Sioux Falls Christian, and then receiving votes Aberdeen Roncalli. 3-pointer for Brooke Jensen. My goodness. Hey, Cole, this isn't necessarily about the defense that Aberdeen Roncalli is playing. This is more about the offense and Vermillion not missing.
Yeah, I mean, the defense, all Roncalli's doing is they're just playing straight up man, and Vermillion's saying, well, if you want to try and man up on us, I mean, good luck. We're going to move the ball around and try and outrun you.
Three-pointer is good. How about that? Aberdeen Roncalli with O'Keefe is finally on the scoreboard. 19-3. Quick three the other way for Hansen. Bingo. Off the bench, Casey Hansen has scored. Now 5 different Tanagers to score. 22-3, 19-point lead, and this one is not close. As this is also the biggest points that we have seen Vermillion put up in a quarter. Previous to that, 21. Three-pointer, this one is good. By Voller off the bench. So back-to-back threes for the Cavaliers. As Aberdeen Roncalli, the cliche is always you cannot win the first quarter, but you sure can lose it. Aberdeen Roncalli trying to stay in it. Rivers drives in. The shortest girl out there scores. She now has 6 in this opening stanza. 24-6, 2 minutes, and a whistle called as this one will go against Barta, picking up her first personal, second team foul against the Tanagers. See a substitution for the Aberdeen Roncalli Cavaliers. Chandler Cleveland will come out. Rivers will come out. Janaea Cleveland and Brooklyn Voss will check back in. 24-6. Under 2 remaining in this first quarter. It's been all Vermillion. Roncalli's points have all come from beyond the three-point line. Over in the far wing, pull-up jumper. This one short off the side of the iron. Rebounded by Barta. Casey Hansen will control. Supporting the all-black leg, if you will, with that ACL tear this summer that she's come back from just a little over a week now that she's been back. Speaking of, she has it, shoots the three. Oh my goodness. This is how dangerous Vermillion has become. Now off the bench, Casey Hansen, who's usually a starter, has been knocking down 2 threes in this first quarter. It's 21-point lead. And again, we don't talk about a running clock until halftime. But now we're thinking about it already as Janaea Cleveland drives in. 7 points for her and a timeout for Aberdeen Roncalli as they have just been sucker punched in this first quarter. 29-6, 29 points by the Vermillion Tanagers. We're back in just a moment here on Live Ticket TV.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
Birds like tanagers are great at flying out of the way to miss your car, deer, and other drivers are not. If you're in any kind of accident, bring your vehicle to Blaine's Body Shop in Vermillion. We repair your vehicle to pre-accident condition and handle the entire process from start to finish, including an accurate estimate and dealing with the insurance adjuster. So good luck to the tanagers, and if you're in an accident, bring your vehicle to
Blaine's Body Shop. Blaine's Body Shop. Automotive collision repair.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporter of Tanager Athletics and the student athlete. Back here at the DAC-12 NEC Clash inside Madison's main gym, it's 29-6. Vermillion Tanagers are dominating over Aberdeen Roncalli. And out of the timeout, Roncalli brings in the front court and Barter draws her second foul. She's a bench player, so she's going to have to come out. And Chandler Cleveland, the only starter not to score for Vermillion, checks back in. In fact, for Vermillion, 5 out of the 7 players so far have scored in the ball game. Almost another steal there for Janaea Cleveland. She has 3 already in the ball game, and then a kick ball as Voss just put her whole entire body up in the air, arms and legs, just trying to get the deflection. She got it. There'll just be a stoppage to reset, and we're ready to go once again as Roncalli has it with Thomas. Bounce pass over to Helms. A few bench players out there right now. Try to get the pass over, and gets it back as O'Keefe knocked down Hansen there at the moment. And then a pass deflected and turned over. Janaea Cleveland comes up with it, gets by her defender, still Janaea. Janaea's got 4 steals in the ball game, goes right down to her twin sister, and through the contact, Chandler Cleveland will head to the free throw line as she put it off the bottom of the rim. It's also the 5th team foul against Roncalli, so it was bonus no matter what, but it was a shooting foul. The foul, by the way, went against Voller, picking up her first personal. Free throw is up, and this one is good. So now 6 different Tanagers have scored in the ball game. And Cole, that's another thing is if you're Aberdeen Roncalli, maybe stop a player, but who do you stop because someone else is just going to score?
Yeah, the scoring breakdown is 7, 6, 6, 5, 5, 1.
And keep at 1 as Chandler goes 1 of 2 from the free throw line. 24-point lead. Pass that went off the legs of one Roncalli offensive player. Missed shot that time by Voller. And here come the Tanagers. They can hold for the last second shot, and they certainly want to do so. Leading it by 24. And Cole, I have to go back to my history book. This might be the best offensive performance I've ever seen from Vermillion in a first quarter. 30 points. And they're looking for more. Chandler Cleveland goes up, misses. Rebounded by Aberdeen, but it was basically a last-second shot. In Vermillion, might have just put Aberdeen to bed. 30-6 as we head to quarter number 2. We'll see if the Cavaliers can fight back. Second quarter is on the way here in 60 seconds on Live Ticket TV and Madison Streaming.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Jensen Kennels is your safe place to take your dog while you're away. They have over 7,000 square feet of indoor run space and outdoor play yards. They pride themselves in providing enrichment both mentally and physically for all types of dog. And speaking of size, Jensen Kennels can host any size of dog, from the smallest Boston Terrier to the largest Great Dane. To find out the full services Jensen Kennels offers, check out their website and Facebook pages. Next time you need your dog to stay in a safe, fun environment, make it Jensen's Kennels.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporter of Tanager Athletics and the student athlete. Back here in Madison, South Dakota, it's the DAC-12 at NEC Clash. A 24-point lead for the Vermillion Tanagers as we start quarter number 2. Yes, that's right. Vermillion put up 30 points in the first quarter, their best offensive production of the season, and Aberdeen forces the Tanagers into a rare turnover to start the second quarter. Heard the Cavalier fans just chant a moment ago. Can't get it all at once, but get back into it. And certainly so, the Cavaliers are not done. They have plenty of time to get back into this. 24 minutes and under now. Center three-pointer rattles through. It's the third three-pointer of the ball game. It's also the first points for Ava Hansen. So that's how Cavaliers have gotten all their points, surprisingly. And it's 30-9. Again, Cavaliers not out, but they certainly need Vermillion to just miss shots. They're doing good defense, so they just need some missed shots. And just like that one missed, and then a rebounding foul that will go against Brooklyn Voss, picking up her second personal and the first team foul. And Cole, that's what we always say, you can't win it in the first quarter, and Vermillion certainly didn't do so. They need to make sure they take care of business into the second quarter.
Yeah, you cannot let this Roncalli team get hot, as they've proven late in that first, and now in the second. They're pretty deadly from deep, so you cannot let them get too many open looks.
And this one, a bounce pass off the foot and loose basketball finally collected by the Tanagers. Chandler Cleveland goes back out to Janea. Janea was square up. She had plenty of time. Wide open three and knocks it down. Janea Cleveland, who is so hot and cold offensively, puts up 10 points. You may remember the other night she had just 2 points against Sioux Falls Christian. So in the scouting report, you probably said don't need to necessarily guard 22, and Aberdeen Roncalli on that possession didn't, and she hits a big three. Jensen inside. The commit to Augustana is going to get tied up. A jump ball is called, and the possession arrow favors the Cavaliers. 33-9, 6:33, second quarter. As Hansen, the big girl inside, really the one that Vermillion wants to stop offensively, comes out of the basketball game. So right now Vermillion is going to be winning the size battle. Another quick turnover with this press. A 2-on-1, Voss easily off the glass. 7 points for her here in the ball game, 35-9. Vermillion up by 26 points. Roncalli breaks the press this time. Kick it over to the corner. Shoot the three. Shot was blocked by Voss as it went up. Roovers finally collects in the backcourt. Roovers across the Bulldog logo. Still Roovers. Now the pass over to Janaea Cleveland. She already hit a three in this quarter. Drives in instead this time. Too high off the glass and rebounded by O'Keefe. Back out they go to Huber. Up to Gabby Thomas. Thomas drives in, splits by the double team, and scoop layup is good. Gabby Thomas, her first points of the ball game. 35-11, 5:38 second quarter, and we saw Vermillion that time just trying to avoid any silly foul there. Chandler Cleveland to the top with Janaea. Over to Brooklyn Voss. Want to go inside, and ball is deflected. Again, Vermillion wants to play some smart basketball as head coach John Brooks continues to pace up and down the sideline. They're a deep three. This one's off the mark. Brooklyn Voss comes up with the rebound. Roovers in the backcourt and now 90 feet away. A foul on Gabby Thomas, picking up the first team foul and the first personal foul as well for the Cavaliers. Casey Hansen will check back in, and Clara Crawford will check back in as she replaces Riley Voller. Also, Brooklyn Voss will come out. 35-11, 5:14 second quarter. This is the matchup of the two seeds here in the DAC-12 NEC Clash. Earlier, Tri-Valley was beating Redfield. I gotta be thinking that one's getting close to being over with there in the auxiliary gym. That won the matchup of the 8 seeds. Matchup of the 7 seeds, Dual and Canton coming up later on. And now a whistle inside as Brooke Jensen caught the pass. Cole Larsh will have some details for you here in just a moment as the foul is on Bain, picking up her first personal and the second team foul. It is 41-23, 4 minutes left in the fourth, so the DAC-12 is going to go to 7-1 here in this DAC-12 NEC Clash. Shooting foul, and Brooke Jensen will head to the free throw line to shoot a pair. It's the third team foul now on Aberdeen Roncalli, and back-to-back fouls on Bain, as she now has 2 personal. Here we go, Brooke Jensen with 5 points in the basketball game, make it 6 as she hits the first free throw. Now 3 different Tanagers to score already in this second quarter. Bain's going to have to come out as Ava Hansen, with the size, will check back into the ball game. 36-11, second free throw is good for Brooke Jensen. She's got 7 points in the ball game. The leading scorer for the Tanagers, the unlikely Cleveland, Janaea with 10. Down to the block they go inside, and Thomas off the bench has 4 points. The leading scorer, in fact, for the Cavaliers, as the Cavaliers are now just trading buckets with the Vermillion Tanagers. Chandler Cleveland has been quiet so far. She's the second leading scorer for Vermillion. Roovers at the block scores. And Roovers now with 8 points in the ball game. 39-13. Again, just trading buckets here in this second quarter. Something Aberdeen Roncalli can't do. And as I say that, they turn it over. And it gives it right back to the Vermillion Tanagers. Don't forget, Vermillion fans, we're back with you on Monday at home as the Vermillion girls are in action taking on the Madison Bulldogs. And then we're on the road to North Sioux City for Vermillion versus Dakota Valley in a doubleheader. A lot of eyes on that one as well, as Vermillion boys always play the Panthers close, and Vermillion girls trying to find another win in the Region 4A, and of course a DAC-12 matchup as well for both teams. 39-13, halfway through the second quarter. Three-pointer is off the mark, and it's going to be rebounded by the Tanagers. Roovers brings it across the timeline, and now a timeout called by head coach John Brooks. We'll step aside. We're back in 30 seconds here on Live Ticket TV.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs. There's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporter of Tanager Athletics and the student athlete. Back here at Madison High School in the DAC-12 NEC Clash, it's been all the Vermillion Tanagers, 39-13. Again, Tanager fans, special event coming up tomorrow afternoon. The Vermillion Baseball Association is having their chili and wild game feed fundraiser from 3 to 8 at the Charcoal Lounge in Vermillion. It does include $20 per ticket. There'll be fresh walleye and chislic served from 4 to 6. Now, tickets can be purchased at the door coming up tomorrow. Cole Larsch and myself will see you there along with Tom Heisinger and the baseball team. Look forward to a fun event happening in Vermillion. Cole, if I remember correctly, last year I think we stayed for all 5 hours. I mean, we were there a very
long time. Yes,
I think it might have been longer than 5 hours.
Yeah, we were there from about an hour after it started till they closed everything down.
Which I don't remember when exactly I closed it down, but had a good time. Of course, we'll be covering Vermillion baseball this season right here on Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV. Jumper missed by Casey Hansen as we're back underway. The DAC-12 NEC clash and a quick turnover for the Aberdeen Roncalli Cavaliers. And for Cole, Aberdeen Roncalli just have not really found momentum yet here in this ball game because of the outstanding defense for Vermillion.
Yeah, it's been hard to get anything going, and when I look down at my stat sheet, Vermillion has 11 steals. It's hard to get some offense going when you turned it over probably north of 20 times.
And now a reach-in foul, and that's the thing, if they're not giving up turnovers, fouls have piled up for the Aberdeen Roncalli Cavaliers, as that one goes against Gabby Thomas. So now 4 different girls with 2 fouls: O'Keefe, Bain, Huber, and Thomas for the Cavaliers. 39-13. Roovers passes it over to Brooke Jensen. Down inside to Janaea Cleveland. Turnaround jumper, miss. Somehow Roovers, the smallest girl out there, came up with it. She goes back up. Double digits for her with 10 points down the ball game. It's 41-13, 3:02 second quarter. Quickly the opposite way. Transition bucket. Again, off the bench, Gabby Thomas is the leading scorer for 6 points for the Cavaliers. And right now the Cavaliers are just fighting to avoid this 30-second running clock. This is a 26-point lead. Again, that running clock, though, wouldn't take effect until the second half. Hansen over to Janaea Cleveland. She's got 10 points herself in this first half. Back out to Barta. Barta down with 7 seconds. Down to the block she goes, in trouble. Back to Janaea Cleveland. She'll drive in, fouled, count the bucket. Again, Janaea Cleveland, 12 points for her. If you were a betting person, always take Chandler Cleveland to score more than Janaea, but Chandler only 1 point here in the ballgame. And Janaea now 12 points. Usually Janaea is the defensive specialist. Free throw is good, nothing but nylon. She has now 13 points in the ball game, and she'll check out as Brooklyn Voss will come back in. So both Cleveland twins currently on the bench. Voller will also check in, and O'Keefe will come out for the Cavaliers. 44-15. If you're just tuning in, Vermillion started off this basketball game on a 16-0 run, and of course have never looked back. Voss with the turnover. She got tripped up. Quickly up to Barter. She's wide open. And with that, we'll see the running clock into the second half. Vermillion has played 7 different players. All 7 have now scored here in the ballgame. 46-15. 2 minutes remain in the second quarter. Shot is going to be blocked. They're going to say a foul against the Vermillion Tanagers. The foul called against Brooke Jensen, picking up her first personal and the second team foul. We'll see free throws upcoming for Voller. Voller, first free throw is up and good. She has 4 points in the ball game. 46-16. Under 2 minutes remain before halftime. Second free throw, this one is good as well for Voller. She has 5 points. In fact, off the bench for the Cavaliers, 11 out of their 17 points from the bench. Hansen, pass over to Voss. Voss, free throw line, wide open jumper. She's got to knock that down every single time. She now has 9 points here in the ball game. 48-17. Under 100 seconds remaining in this first half. A game that has been all Vermillion. Great to have you along here on Vermillion Tanagers Live, Madison Streaming, and Live Ticket TV. 3 different ways to watch this broadcast here this evening. Pass inside, and this one off the bottom of the rim that time for Voller. Vermillion comes away with it. River is quickly in the front court. It's a 3-on-2 over to Hansen. She'll shoot the 3 off the heel of the iron. Easy rebound, though, for Brooke Jensen. And with that, she has 9 points, 50-17. It's a rarity to see girls basketball teams get up to 50 points in a ball game. Vermillion has done it in a half. Three-pointer, this one's off the heel of the iron, and then a rebounding foul that will be called against Aberdeen, and with that, it also gives bonus to the Vermillion Tanagers, so we'll go the other 90 feet and shoot two. The foul called on Hansen, picking up her second personal. So Aberdeen Roncalli, 5 different girls with 2 personal fouls here in the ball game. And again, free throws for Brooke Jensen. First free throw is good. She hits double figures. She's the third Tanager to hit double figures here in the ball game. 51-17, under a minute remaining in this first half. Second free throw for Jensen. And Cole as well for Vermillion. I don't know what it's about, open gymnasiums, but we saw at the Corn Palace where they put up 73 points. Here in Massey, it's a little bit more open of a gym. They just seem so comfortable in it.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know if they've just gotten used to it over the years of playing at neutral sites or what, but they're putting on quite the offensive performance tonight.
And now a travel call that there's a turnover in the backcourt by the Vermillion Tanagers. 52-17. 45 seconds remain before halftime. As it will be Janaea Cleveland who will get it into Roovers. Roovers quickly pressing over to Chandler Cleveland. She'll drive in and score easily. She's got just 3 points. Starting tonight, 54-17. We will see an extremely quick moving second half. And now another kick ball by Voss as she just stepped in the way of that one. So it'll still be Roncalli basketball with under 30 seconds remaining before halftime. Coming up here at halftime, we'll have a look at our first half statistics. Also get you set for the rest of the DAC-12 NEC Clash and talk about what's coming up next week, as it's been an extremely busy week here on Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV. And don't forget, on Live Ticket TV, three-pointer is good. And also on Madison Streaming, we'll have that final game of the evening coming up as Gabby Thomas now has 9 points in this quarter. 54-20, Roovers drives in, and they're going to call a reach-in foul that will go against the Cavaliers. They pick up their 6th of the quarter, and it'll be free throws upcoming for Roovers. She's got 10 points here in the ball game, the first time that she will go to the free throw line. Also, the foul was on Huber, picking up her 3rd personal. Free throw is good. So 11 points for Taylor Roovers, 55-20. 35-point lead. Second free throw up and good. 12 points for Roovers in the ball game. The three-quarters heave, well off the mark. And Vermillion, after putting up 30 points in quarter number 1, come out and put up 26 points in the second quarter. Lead at 56-20 as we go to halftime. Coming up here at halftime, we'll have our first half statistics and also take a look at this DAC-12 NEC Clash and much more. That's all on the way here on Live Ticket TV, Vermillion Tanagers Live, and Madison Streaming.
If you are self-motivated, accountable, and eager to learn new skills, we'd love to talk to you about a rock star career. Masaba in Vermillion is hiring full and part-time manufacturing positions for the rock industry. Masaba provides comprehensive training in a clean, safe, and state-of-the-art facility. Masaba offers competitive wages, a fun and interesting work environment and culture. Join our team of rock stars. Visit masabainc.com to learn more.
Looking for a great new or used John Deere planter? Then look no more. Grossenberg Implement has a great used selection this month. They have a good selection of 2023 and 2022 model years that will make your operation more efficient and productive with low-rate financing of only 1.99% for 60 months for those that qualify. You'll be ready for spring planting. Come in and talk to one of their sales professionals or browse their inventory at grossenberg.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
For healthier crops and stronger yields, count on Nutrien Ag Solutions. By partnering with the leader in plant nutrition, you'll have access to innovative products and unmatched service that deliver impact and efficiency to every acre. Healthier crops, happier growers. Lead the field this season and beyond. Find your local crop consultant at nutrienagsolutions.com.
Whether you are pregnant or planning ahead, you and your baby deserve a healthy start. We offer a wide range of services such as advocacy, health screenings and education, care coordination and car seat safety, participant empowerment, referral services, and fatherhood support. To learn more about Great Plains Healthy Start, visit greatplainstravelhealth.org or call one of our 5 service areas today. Brought to you by Great Plains Healthy Start, so that the people may live.
Farmers know crop insurance is essential for managing risk. It's also valuable for maximizing revenue. The crop insurance officers at Farm Credit Services of America have proprietary tools and expertise to deliver the personalized crop and revenue protection you need for the peace of mind you want. Nobody delivers crop insurance like this. Discover the difference by calling 800-884-FARM. Agriculture works here.
What's your big picture?
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporter of Tanager Athletics and the student athlete. Back here at Madison High School, it's 56-20 in the DAC-12 NEC Clash, as it's been all the Vermillion Tanagers dominating it over Aberdeen Roncalli Cavaliers. Vermillion put up 30 in the first quarter, 26 in the second. And we're going to have ourselves a running clock. By the way, Tanager fans, if you are curious, the biggest point total ever put up by the Vermillion Tanagers was back when Lexi Plitzowite set the school record for most points in a game, where Vermillion beat Dakota Valley in Vermillion in double overtime, 85-82. So that is the biggest point total that we've ever seen from the Vermillion Tanagers. And right now, I don't think we're going to get to that mark, but Vermillion certainly dominating this performance. So we bring in Cole Larsh. Cole, take a look at our first half statistics, where it's been all Vermillion scoring-wise here in the ball game.
Yeah, you're right. It has been all Vermillion, but first I'm going to start with Roncalli in the first 20 points. They were led Gabby Thomas off the bench with 9 and a rebound, McKenna O'Keefe with 3 points and 4 boards, Riley Voller with 5, and Ava Hansen with 3 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist. 6 in the first, 14 in the second for their total of 20. Then you go down to the Vermillion Tanager side, where there's almost so many pen marks that I really can't quite read them all. We're just going to start right at the top and work our way down the roster numerically. Casey Hansen, 6 points in that first quarter. Taylor Barta, 2 points and a rebound and a steal. Taylor Roovers, 12 points, 6 in each quarter. A rebound, 3 assists, and a steal. Brooklyn Voss, 9 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist, 2 steals, and a block. Janaea Cleveland, 13 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 steals for her. Chandler Cleveland, 3 points, a rebound, and a steal. Brooke Jensen, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. Vermillion, 30 in the first, 26 in the second. They are 9-for-11 from the free throw line. Again, your halftime score, 56-20.
Dominated by the Vermillion Tanagers, says so far in this DAC-12 NEC Clash, we have seen nothing but the DAC-12 get wins, except in our matchup of the 10 seeds as we quickly go back. So far in this DAC-12 NEC Clash, I have to get one final score on that Tri-Valley game. I know Tri-Valley is going to win that earlier, but we'll see if we can't track down a final score. In other action so far here in the main gym, it was the 6th seed, the Dakota Valley Panthers, that got the win today over Millbank, 53-31. And the matchup of the 5 seeds, it was Elk Point Jefferson that beat Groton Area 44-33. And the matchup of the 4 seeds, Lennox beat Hamlin 45-37. And so far, in what we've seen the most points in this tournament, in the 3 seed matchup, the T Area Titans pulled away from Parkston there at the end, beating them 79-60. In other pairings in the auxiliary gym, in the 11 seed matchup, Madison got their second win of the season, beating Tispazina 61-49. In the matchup of the 10 seeds, it's the only NEC win. Clark Willow Lake beat Del Rapids 46-32. In the matchup of the 9 seeds, it was West Central that beat Webster area 66-23. In the 8 seeds, it was Tri-Valley that beat Redfield 49-26. And that final game going on in the auxiliary gym has just gotten underway. It will be the Canton Seahawks taking on Dual. And again, here in the matchup of the 2 seeds, Vermillion is dominating Aberdeen 56-20. After that, coming up around 6:30, it will be the matchup of the 1 seeds, Sisseton, who is undefeated, taking on the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers. The Sioux Falls Christian Chargers, Vermillion Tanagers, and the T-Area Titans all tied for first in the DAC 12 regular season standings, if you will, after Vermillion beat Sioux Falls Christian in a rock fight 43-39 on Thursday. We're going to step aside for a quick timeout. When we come back, it is the start of the second half. That's on the way next here on Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV.
To keep the farm in the family.
To pay off the loan. To start my own operation.
To drive Grandpa's combine. Right, Grandpa?
If owning a successful operation is in your big picture, First Bank & Trust has ag experts to help you plan for the future.
To diversify.
To teach her how to drive a combine.
Find out how First Bank & Trust makes managing your farm easier at bankeasy.com.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporter of Tanager Athletics and the student athlete. Back here on Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV, along with Madison Streaming, take a quick look here at the Vermillion Tanagers. As coming up this week for the Vermillion Tanagers, we have plenty of action coming up once again, as we have one day off before we're back in action. The Vermillion girls will be playing a single game against the Madison Bulldogs at home inside the Birdcage. Hope all the Vermillion fans can make it back inside the Birdcage before we have a doubleheader coming up on Tuesday, as we'll be traveling to North Sioux City for the Vermillion Tanagers taking on Dakota Valley. A big matchup there for both teams. I should say all 4 teams, as Dakota Valley Panther boys, one of the number 1, or I should say top 5 teams in the state of South Dakota, always closely played by the Vermillion Tanagers. And of course, a matchup of the DAC 12 Region 4A standings for the Dakota Valley Panthers and the Vermillion Tanagers. The Panther girls would certainly love to knock off the Vermillion Tanagers inside their home gym. Expect an electric atmosphere coming up on Tuesday. If you can't make it to North Sioux City, we'll have all the coverage right here on Vermillion Tanagers Live and Live Ticket TV. Both teams come back out with their starting 5, O'Keefe, Bain, Huber, Crawford, and Hansen. For the Cavaliers, it'll be Ruvers, Voss, Cleveland, and Jensen for the Vermillion Tanagers. Also, Vermillion will begin with the basketball, attacking the right hoop, as it will also be, one other quick side note, a running clock throughout this second half, which will keep it moving very, very quickly. Inside, scoring, is Chandler Cleveland. She has 5 points for the ball game. Vermillion now their biggest lead of the game as well, up by 38, 58-20. Roncalli, bounce pass as they get it to O'Keefe. Swing over to the left side, three-pointer is off the mark. Rebounded by Ruvers. Ruvers is tripped up from behind by Huber. And Huber with the tripping call. The Cavalier fans don't agree with it. And Huber is also going to pick up her 4th personal foul. She was the only Cavalier to pick up 3 or more fouls in that first half, and quickly picks up her 4th, so she's going to be on a bench. Subbing in, though, will be Gabby Thomas, who is actually the leading scorer for the Cavaliers with 9 points in the ball game. Controlled, Janaea Cleveland. Bounce pass, one to go inside. Stolen away by Aberdeen Roncalli. Quickly, end-to-end. Shot was blocked from behind, but they say a shooting foul against Brooklyn Voss. So 2 free throws upcoming for Claire Crawford, as Voss will now pick up her 3rd personal in the first team foul. Don't forget, Live Ticket TV fans will also have Sisseton and Sioux Falls Christian coming up here after this one. First free throw is good for Crawford, her first point of the basketball game. Second free throw, this one is good as well. First 2 points, 58-22, 6:40 at 3rd quarter. It's with Voss. Voss, the left-handed dribble. Keeps it alive, down to Chandler Cleveland. Back out to Janea. Janea drives in and somehow gets it to go after she threw off the front of the iron. And again, she's the leading Tanager scorer, surprisingly, with 15 points here in the ball game. Official scores book has her for 17. So someone got off 2 points somewhere. Jumper by Hansen is off the mark. Hansen, by the way, for the Aberdeen Roncalli Cavaliers, that is. Jensen has it, kicks it back out to Roovers, a dangerous pass. And now a 2-on-1, easily taken advantage of, and Crawford is going to travel. It's like an easy bucket that time for Aberdeen, and couldn't cash it in. So Vermillion will get it right back again with this running clock here to start the second half. This one quickly moving along. All right, down to 5:37 remaining in the quarter. 60-22. Biggest win of 42 points in this DAC 12 NEC Clash was by West Central, as Chandler Cleveland inside now scores with 7 points to her name. Vermillion just might beat it again. Vermillion's most points, girls basketball, 85 points against Dakota Valley back in 2019 in a double overtime victory. So Lexi Plitzowite set the all-time leading scorer. By the way, also, speaking of Lexi Plitzowite, only Tanager to ever lose a tooth during this DAC 12 NEC Clash. And now a foul called against Voss. She'll have to come out of the game, as Brooklyn has now picked up her 4th personal and 2 team fouls in this quarter. First free throw is good for Ava Hansen, who has 5 points. She'll be replaced by a former starter, Casey Hansen. As Hansen now has 4 points, make it 5 points here in the ball game. Roovers across the Bulldog logo for the Tanager. Still Roovers. Drives all the way in using her right hand. Scoop layup is good. 14 for her in the ball game. So Tanagers in a battle right now to see who's going to score the most and be the player of the game, which they announce at the end. Winning team always has a player of the game, which receives a book bag, part of the DAC 12 NEC Clash. At the top of the key, driving, floater inside, left short, tipped around, ball still loose, and Janea Cleveland comes up with it for Vermillion. Quickly up to Casey Hansen. Oh, Chandler Cleveland was wide open for the fast break bucket. Jensen, three-pointer, off the heel of the iron. Rebound, though, by Chandler Cleveland. Still Chandler. Back out to Casey Hansen. Squares up, shoots the three. Bingo. Casey Hansen, 9 points in this contest, all from downtown, off the bench. And that is how deadly she can be off the bench. It's hard to stop a player like that. Now up by 43 points. The Vermillion Tanagers all over Aberdeen Roncalli. I haven't really talked to Cole Larsh in this basketball game. Three-pointer the opposite way. Ava Hansen now has 8 points for the Cavaliers. Doesn't have much to say, I guess. Jensen inside. Kick really. Out to Casey Hansen. He's saving his voice. He'll have the third and final game coming up for us here on Live Ticket TV between Sioux Falls Christian and Sisseton. And Cole will be riding solo on that one as well. Foul against Aberdeen Roncalli as O'Keefe picks up her third personal. Morgan Helms and Riley Bowler will check into the ball game for Aberdeen Roncalli. 67-27. Again, with this kind of transition of getting players in and out, that clock was running the entire time. So down to 3:04 already in this third quarter. Back out, Casey Hansen, catch and shoot three. Good. Oh my goodness. Casey Hansen, a sniper from downtown. 12 points for her in the ball game. She is now the fourth different Tanager to reach double figures and now slip and travel. And we had to check, is Gabby Thomas okay? As again, she just slipped right there at the elbow. does get some help up. 70-27, by the way, as well. The most points that Vermillion has put up in a ball game was against, well, Cole Larsh, cover your ears, Mount Vernon Plankinton. And a 73-67 victory at the Corn Palace in the Mini Hansen Classic earlier this season. Ball takes a deflection. It'll go out of bounds against Gabby Thomas and will stay with the Tanagers. And now some of the reserves are going to start to get their chance to play as Baylor and Richardson, the two seniors, will check in. I don't know if this is officially John Brooks calling off the Dogs for his team or not. I have to imagine so with this big of a lead. So Richardson now has it. Over to Baylor. They work it to the corner, down to Barta. She almost lost it. Still Barta draws a double team, kicks over to Hansen, step back. Hansen inside to Roovers. Now out to Richardson. She shoots the three. This one is off the mark. Loose basketball picked up by Roovers. Still Roovers down to block as she draws the double team, makes a pass, and will eventually find its way to Casey Hansen. It is a fresh shot clock, by the way, for the Tanagers, as Barta lost it inside, and they're going to call a foul or a travel against the Vermillion Tanagers. Aberdeen Roncalli fans in front of us cheering because they feel as though the officials have not been nice to them here in the ballgame. 70-27, 1:10, third quarter. Jumper for Hansen, gets it to go. Ava Hansen, 10 points for her in the ballgame, 70-29. Groovers, pass over to Barta, pump faked. Now Hansen, she'll shoot the three and gets it again. Casey Hansen cannot miss. 15 for the ball game, 9 points in this third quarter, 73-29. And there's just nothing you can do if you're Aberdeen Roncalli. Inside, shot missed, rebounded by Roovers. Roovers will carry it across the timeline. It's 4 seconds that separate the shot clock from game clock. Roovers doesn't care. She just goes straight to the rack and scores. 16 points for her now in the ball game. Who is going to be the leading scorer for the Vermillion Tanagers? This is now the only question that's left to ask. 75-29. Under 20 remaining here in the quarter. Deep three for Hansen. Goes down and in. It rattled out, hit the glass, and falls through for Ava Hansen. 10 points for her in the quarter, 13 for the ball game, 75-32. 3 seconds, it's Roovers, still Roovers. Pass over to Hansen and never got the shot off in time. She airballed it anyways. 75-32, we head to the final 8 minutes. We'll have you covered for those final 8 minutes coming up here in just a moment on Live Ticket TV.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here is your spot with Live Ticket TV. With over 65 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you find the right market. Plus, you can work with me, Heath, and a portion of all sales made go right back to the school. Get a hold of me today and let's get started in helping build your brand with Live Ticket TV. Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporter of Tanager Athletics and the student athlete. Back here in the DAC-12 NEC Clash, it's all the Vermillion Tanagers as we start the fourth and final quarter. As Vermillion will come out with their second team, the Stars will not even play here in the fourth quarter, as we'll also see a running clock, airball 3, a ball goes out of bounds, and it will stay with the Aberdeen Roncalli Cavaliers. And Cole, while we talk about that, let's get us our final numbers from the starters here in the ball game. As you tally those up, we'll get to you in just a moment as Aberdeen's going to inbound. By the way, Aberdeen needs to go quickly. There's still a running clock here, and they just sit on the inbounds. The clock still rolls. Again, it'll probably be in a quick 8 minutes, if you will. As Roncalli has it, Gabby Thomas almost lost inside. Back out they go to Huber. Huber trying to find some space. Bounce pass over to Crawford. Into the corner they go with Thomas. Thomas drawing a double team. Back to the top they go. They want to go underneath. controlled with Helms. Helms kicks into the lane, back out to Crawford. She shoots the three, gets it to go. Claire Crawford with 5 points here in the ball game. Her first shot from downtown. Cole, Vermillion starter statistics.
Casey Hansen, 15 points. Ruvers with 16. Voss with 9. Janaea Cleveland with 15. Chandler Cleveland 7. And Brooke Jensen with 11. That's your starting 6, if you will.
Yeah, that works for me. So 2 different girls get 15 points. Travel called. Ruvers with 16, so I have to imagine they're just going to give it to Taylor Ruvers as the game, or player of the game. She'll be handed out a book bag, which I'm trying to think. If I'm correct, Cole, be her first time that she's won that book bag. 3-pointer, the opposite way, missed, rebounded, Cavaliers, Huber couldn't score, and now a jump ball called in the lane. Possession arrow favors the Vermillion Tanagers. Again, don't forget, Tanger fans, the Wild game, Chislik feed coming up tomorrow at the Charcoal Lounge from 3 to 8 that the Vermillion Baseball Association is putting on. Again, show up, $20. We'll get you 2 drink tickets. And, of course, all that proceeds will go to funding the Vermillion baseball team. So we'll have you covered for Vermillion baseball this spring and summer right here on Live Ticket TV. Again, great to be a part of the Madison streaming as well. Thank you, Al, and his services here at Madison High School for hooking us up each and every single time. We'll have you covered for one final game, the DAC 12 NEC clash between Sisseton and Sioux Falls Christian. Battle of the 1 seeds on the girls' side coming up here right in this gymnasium. Thomas scores. She hits double figures. She's got 11 points off the bench for the Cavaliers, 75-37. Now quick turnover and off the glass and good for 2 for Huber. Huber scores with 2. By the way, did ask John Brooks this off-air conversation the other day and said, what about the JV team? What is the philosophy you go in there as a coach with? And he said, let them play. Let them score. This is their opportunity to play. And clashes like this, they don't get a game beforehand, so let them play. Let them have fun. We just keep running everything the same. That's his philosophy. Of course, coaches have changed that philosophy over the years. It used to be about running out the clock and just getting the victory. But more and more coaches are letting the JV team play, which you like to see. Wallen picks up the foul. Be the second team foul on the Vermillion Tanagers. Also with the foul called, again, the clock does not stop, so that's why we just keep seeing things roll. So we're almost halfway through this 4th quarter. That final game's supposed to start at 6:30, and as of right now, the way this is going, it will start at 6:30. Quick jumper off the mark for the Cavaliers, back inside, foul called. And to the free throw line will be Helms. First free throw for Helms as she spins the basketball in her hand. Bullets it up and off the mark. Vermillion has not scored here in this 4th quarter. By the way, for the Vermillion Tanagers, this is the most points they have scored this season. Coming into the contest, they averaged 52 points. They had 56 at halftime. Second free throw is off the mark for Helms. Loose basketball. Barter's trying to come up with it. Goes out of bounds. Last touch by Voller. And now we will see the Cavaliers call off the Dogs as they take out their starting 5. And we'll see JV versus JV out here in the final 4 minutes of this DAC 12 NEC contest. Cavaliers have not gotten everybody out there on the hardwood that they brought with them on the bus. Vermillion on the opposite side, I believe they have. I said, well, maybe not one. Again, one is not available. Lexi Hansen, who has got a varsity spot a couple weeks ago, rolled her ankle in a JV game on Thursday. I believe there's one other that has not gotten out there yet, if I can see correctly. Barta, pump fakes. Bounce pass down inside to Richardson, and she's going to lose the basketball. Aberdeen Roncalli quickly the opposite way. Kick out. 3-pointer. No, they say foot was on the line. Air ball anyways. Controlled, though, by Davis. As they go back to the top now with Roach. 3-pointer. This one is off the mark. And here comes Barta up into the front court. Bounce pass to Wallen, and Wallen tries to go for her shot. She's going to be blocked away that time by Davis. 2:40 remaining here in the ball game, 75-39. It's been all the Vermillion Tanagers drive in and lost the basketball. That time was Davis. No, excuse me, that was Thomas. It'll be Vermillion basketball. Crowd starting to fill in a little bit more as well for the Sisseton Redmen. Taking on the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers in the final game here, this main gym of the DAC-12 NEC Clash. Going to be an exciting one. Cole Larsh will have you covered right here on Masson Streaming and Live Ticket TV. As I step aside and will make my way to Sioux Falls for the evening. 75-39, 2:05, fourth quarter. Barta gets over to Halverson. Halverson in the lane, puts up the left-handed shot, misses. Barta gets it back. Kick back out to Baylor. She'll shoot the three. This one is off the mark. 75-39. 1:45 remaining here in the contest. Just going to be a running clock. Again, Tanager fans will have you covered. Our game's coming up on Monday and Tuesday. Be a very busy Dakota Valley gym as well, so I know we'll have a lot of media covering that game. Was asked to join another broadcast as well. That certainly isn't going to happen. Cole Larsh has checked out for the night. He's resting his voice. He's watching some USD women's basketball.
Pretty intently, actually.
Wallen, the scoop layup. This one won't go. Fight for the rebound. Barta tries to score. She can't do so. Ball being ping-ponged around. Finally, the Cavaliers come away with it. Quickly in the front court goes Roach. She'll peel out, make the pass over to Danielson. She'll shoot the three off the front of the iron, and it will go out of bounds. Under a minute now remaining in the ball game, and here for the Cavaliers, everyone will get the chance to play. That is dressed, and for the Vermillion Tanagers, everyone that was dressed as well for this evening will have their chance to play in the contest. 75-41, and Vermillion is going to move to 12-3 on the season, and the Cavaliers will also go to 12-3 on the season. This being their third loss. Their other two losses come against NEC opponents, against Hamlin and also the Sisseton Redmen. Vermillion has not scored here in the quarter. Can they get one final bucket before the buzzer? Inside to Richardson, and a jump ball is called. The possession arrow favors the Vermillion Tanagers. Vermillion will have to go quickly. I don't think they will be able to inbound in time. And Vermillion will get the victory as, again, Vermillion moves to now 12-3 on the season, 3-1 in Region 4A, 6-1 in the DAC-12. Aberdeen drops to 12-3 overall, 5-1 in Region 1A, and 8-2 in the NEC. We see 4 different Tanagers finish in double figures, including Taylor Roovers finishes with 16 in the ball game, Casey Hansen with 15, Janaea Cleveland with 15, and Brooke Jensen with 11. Let's keep it here for one final moment to see who the player of the game is for the Vermillion Tanagers. Again, Tanager fans will have you covered coming up on Monday night inside the Birdcage as Vermillion is back home to take on the Madison Bulldogs. They're going to hand out the book bag. I think we need to make the announcement, or we're just going to skip on the announcement. As Coach Carrie Jensen has the backpack, and we're ready to hand out the player of the game. Have to believe it's going to be Taylor Roovers, the 8th grader. Oh, wow, Janaea Cleveland will be your player of the game, finishing with 15 points and 5 steals in the contest. I think she's a little shocked herself. Cole, it's one of the rare times that we see Janaea Cleveland smile.
That's true, very true.
Very, very rare for her to smile. In the end, Vermillion gets the win against Aberdeen Roncalli. We're going to step aside. Cole will have you covered on Live Ticket TV for the final game of the evening as Vermillion gets the win over Aberdeen Roncalli. Cole, have yourself a wonderful broadcast. I'll catch up with you later.
Sounds good, Heath.